Hello, this is Kaneda, also known as Viz Shogun Gamer on YouTube, the Shogun Gamer on Viz.com. And I'm going to be coming at you with the Let's Analyze King of Fighters 97 Cool Jam, the arranged version. This was a request from Onofre Paiva from Brazil. I'll tell you beforehand right now that I've been out of practice for jazz theory. The class I want to get into at college, they don't give credits for, and they're not even letting anyone in because they think because there's these students have been in there for 8 years or something that it's their choice if they want to leave or not. And I'm like, that's not right. But I'll see if I could get into jazz band somewhere else. Other than that, I've been practicing piano. I started on piano. I've played the saxophone for about 8 years now. Yeah, I just kind of, I've been practicing a lot, but it's not the same when you can't ask a teacher questions about anything you have in mind. Either way, I'll do my best with this analysis to my ability. And I'll tell you right now, Cool Jam it's pretty good, I have to say. Like, it uses repetition in the right way. Just the note selection and everything is just so good. So the drums and bass start off. The drums, he's just doing what he has to do, but listen to the bass. He's kind of, he starts off a little bit, and he starts adding more and more. It's really good build-up, very good introduction. So notice how they introduced the sats. He used a roaring technique to say like, hey, I'm here, but listen to what the sats does now. He's still saying I'm here almost. It's just such a great attention getter. It's just like writing the perfect essay. That's how I'd put it. So now we're in the verse, and it's really suave and sexy. It's like, it makes you kind of like, yeah, I know this guy. It's like, yeah, he's he's smooth criminal. And then watch, he went, boy. It's like he didn't resolve, and he's like, yeah, let's get into the chorus. It was a build-up, a bridge to the chorus almost. It was just, just a great way to start off. Basically, and the note selection for all of it was good. Now the style of it is kind of a jazz fusion with, rock and funk, but that allows you to kind of solo around the melody because of its repetition, and it's kind of simple, but doing what the saxophonist does takes a lot of practice. So now the bass takes the solo here, and he's just starting it off. He's not gonna do anything too crazy, but he does do a lot of cool stuff, like this. He's switching between the first and the sevenths, which is a jazzy thing, but also a rock thing. So he's got this down, So you probably didn't hear it, but the bass ended on the same exact note that the alto just started on, which is amazing. They're really listening to each other like crazy, Alto's taking a nice jazz solo, funky jazz almost. Really nice, the way he plays. He's taking the simple, basic jazz knowledge, and he's doing so much amazing stuff with it. Like, he was just switching between octaves there like nothing. So listen to this really quickly. The organ is starting on the same note that the sats did. He was listening to his whole solo that whole time, unless, they're just cutting between solos and they're editing or something, but this is really nice. And now the organ's going to play here with the drums together to show how in sync they are. Whether the drum recorded what he did first and let the organ play after, if they're playing this together, that's even twice as amazing. Also, the organ uses repetition right here with the trill that he did in the beginning. So, repetition is just really awesome in this song. It makes you remember things easily. So now the saxophonist is going wild with those fingers. This is something I have done before, but without the roar. As you can tell, he really sounds like an electric guitar right there. It's amazing. This is his conclusion to the solo, which I thought was absolutely amazing. A great way to end on the high note, especially. That was also a critical moment. Like, if he had been performing, I'm sure he did that first try or second try, because when it comes to jazz, you have to, you need to be in the feel of it from the very beginning. If you retry too many times, you lose the solo and everything. So this saxophonist is actually quite amazing. Even if he's just playing something very simple, it's just repetition. This is repetition of this melody like about 3 times, I think, 3 or 4 times. But the good part about this is because it's a rock, jazz, funk feel, it allows him to solo in between the melody, as you could tell. Like that. And it's actually really simple to solo on this song, surprisingly, but unfortunately, you can only like solo so far within that section unless you know all your modes from jazz. Or maybe not. But this song does certainly have a lot of freedom. The point is, you have to work with the other players in there. You have to work with, right now he's trading fours with the keyboard player. Listen to how they communicate. You see, he kind of started around the same note because that's what we want to do when you trade fours. Sometimes you want to answer and call, and then sometimes you want to do something different. That's how you make it interesting and keep the listener's attention. So now he's going all crazy there. So instead of going, doing what the saxophone did, instead he plays a whole bunch of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe sevenths, but I'm thinking ninths. But it caused tension, and now they're just creating a lot more tension. And the organ is kind of like resolving that tension that the alto sax creates almost. And now he's going at it. It looks like they're ending on their solo section, so that's okay to do, especially since they went back into it after playing the melody. And yeah, that's all there is. So tune in next time.